So this is my favorite album thus far. Every time I listen to a new Madonna album, it changes. But I honestly feel like this will be in my top 2 forever. This and Erotica are going to be in my top 3 forever. I will say that. To motherfucking channel. Today, the day has finally come. It's finally come. We are reviewing, recapping, whatever you want to call it, the Bedtime Stories era. And I have a lot to say. Okay, I wrote it all down so I don't sound like a dysfunctional idiot. I'm going to actually look at my notes, see what I have written down, because I didn't want to forget anything. Because this is a monumental moment in not only Madonna's career, but in my YouTube reactions, because this is honestly one of my favorite eras I've ever reacted to, I've ever been a part of. I love it so much. So let's get into this. Starting off, overall album review. Starting off, I will say, she started off with Survival. Survival is such a powerful song, because she's just saying that she's been through hell and back. So much bullshit. Especially because it was the end of the Erotica era, and she got so much flack for that era. And Survival, nobody can get rid of her. She's been hurt, yeah, that it hurt her feelings, but it's all about survival, and it's all about keeping your head high and just continuing doing what you do best. And that was a perfect way to start an album, okay? This album has a lot of different kind of feelings to it. From the upbeat Don't Stop to the deep, independent, soulful Human Nature. It's so mind-boggling that she can have all that but make the album sound so cohesive. But Human Nature really talked about how hard it is being a female in the music industry. Like I said, her Erotica era just ended, so she wanted to come out and just embrace herself. If nobody was going to embrace her, she was going to embrace herself. And honestly, she ran so the new girls nowadays could walk comfortably. I can't say it. You guys know what I mean, though. She did all that stuff so the new girls can live a good, happy, fantastic career. She did all that. She was the first to do it. Let's be real. But not only I feel like Human Nature isn't just about being a woman in the industry. It goes for a lot of things, because Madonna knows, and she knew back then, that her gay fans are some people that just they didn't feel accepted from any other artist or anything else. So when they listen to her music, they feel it. So Human Nature can be applied to a lot of different situations, not just women in the industry, not even just gays, and not even just bisexual people, transgender people. So many things can be seen from that, from Human Nature. But that's honestly why that was one of my favorite songs by Madonna. I honestly thought that song was never going to be topped, but it was topped. But I just really love that strong, meaningful message behind that song. That's why I had to give it a specific shout out. Okay? And not only were there powerful, independent feeling bitch, I can do whatever the fuck I want kind of songs, there was also sad songs like Love Tried to Welcome Me or Inside of Me. Inside of Me, she was talking about her mom. And again, here goes that it could have a double meaning. You could portray that on another situation. Inside of Me, when I first heard it on the album reaction, you guys dragged me in the comments. You were like, she's not talking about a relationship, she's talking about her mom. And I was like, oh my God. Which is so sad. I love that she gave us something that is so meaningful and special, and it probably brings bad vibes when she thinks about it, of a dead parent. So the fact that she made that song and it sound like the beginning of that song, that boom, 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 damn, damn, like, yes, ma'am, that's what I needed. Like, I can't even explain it. That song is so good. But like I said, you can portray that song on not almost any situation, but a lot of different situations, especially like a relationship situation. If you miss someone, but you know they're no good for you, you'll always have them inside of you. And it's such a fucking good song. I'm so glad she did that song. I'm so glad that she's just that girl. She really is. And she was just going through a lot at this specific stage in her career. She was going through a lot. Like I said, I said it twice already. The erotica era had just ended. She was getting so much flack for it, but she stood her ground and she stayed strong. And that's why this album means a lot. Not to just me, but I'm sure to her as well. Because it was her, like, comeback. Like, I'm just a human being. Let me live my life. Let me make the beautiful music I want to make. And she did just that. This album is perfect from start to finish, okay? Like, to explain it, I feel like she took the pen and the paper from her soul and put it together and made magic. Every song goes together so smoothly and so, like, it's an album that you can replay over and over again and never get tired, because I still do to this day. And I reacted to this album a long time ago. I feel like it's been a while, but honestly, I'm gonna be talking about a few things after I'm done with this overall album review. There's only a few more things I have to say about the album itself. Then we're gonna get into some fun stuff. I need to specifically talk about this. Sanctuary into Bedtime Stories. Oh my god. When I reacted to that song, or not song, when I reacted to that album, I didn't notice it because after each song I stop the song and then talk about the song, how I feel about it, and go to the next song. So I didn't catch the transition. But I've never heard a smoother transition in my life. Like she went from, I can't explain it. You guys know what I'm talking about too, because you've listened to this album. You've listened to Sanctuary into Bedtime Stories. You cannot listen to it any other way. Like, if you're going to try to listen to it any other way, I don't even want to hear it. I want to hear both songs, like, back to back, because it just sounds so good. It really takes you to a space. Like, this is a really good album to smoke to. If I recommended any album to smoke to, it'd be this one for sure, because it's just perfect. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Sanctuary and Bedtime Stories transition. Now, before I start talking about my top 5 songs, top 3 videos, final thoughts, top 3 performances, I'm going to talk about I don't know how to say it, Evita, something like that, okay? And you guys know what I'm talking about too. I'm supposed to be doing the Ray of Light era, but I forgot about the Evita era, or I don't know how to say it, but I forgot about that era. And it's not really an era, it's just an album. So what I'm going to do is probably just react to that album. If there is any videos, I'm going to have to react to the videos too. But don't stress. Please don't stress, guys. Please. I don't want you guys to stress. I'm going to get to the Ray of Light era if it's the last thing I do. I just want to get through everything, you know? So don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. But I know you guys wanted me to address it, so I addressed it. That is going to be the next thing you guys will see. And after that, we can get to the Ray of Light era. I'm super excited about that too. But let's keep going. Okay, let's start with my top 5 songs from this album. Number 1 is Inside of Me for multiple reasons. Like I said, she was talking about her mother and just how deep woven those lyrics are, and just, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh my God. Like, I get chills every time I listen to that song. Okay, the next song is Love Tried to Welcome Me. This song in particular is so sad, okay? Like, she's talking about, instead of spring, it's always winter. But then the intro to that song, oh my God. Like, it sounds like you're being ascended into heaven, and it's all bright, and there's, like, angels flying around. It's such a beautiful beautiful, constructed song. Okay, honestly, that's a tie for me between Inside of Me and Love Tried to Welcome Me. I swear it is. It really is. Number 3 is Take a Bow. I already talked about this in my favorite songs of all time. Just how soulful and pop forward this song is. It's so fucking good. And the next song is Sanctuary, and number 5 is Bedtime Stories. And I already talked about how those songs go together. Like, she was really talking about how wild it is that, consciousness and being alive and what it is to be a human and what it is to love. And I don't know, there was just something so genuine and pure and unique about these 2 songs. I really love them so much. They honestly are some of my favorite songs from Madonna's career are from this album. Seriously, like I am truly in love with the Bedtime Story album. My top 3 videos. Number 1 is Bedtime Story. Like I said, when I reacted to that video, I knew it was going to be one of my favorite videos of all time. It captured the vibe of the song, and then she just put it into the video, and it was so perfect, unexplainable, just perfection. Perfection is the only word I can say for that video. The next video is Take a Bow, and honestly, Take a Bow, it was such a love story. It was such a sad love story, and then the You'll See video was a continued part of that. I was just so fucking shit. But honestly, I feel like there was a lot going on in the Take a Bow video, and I didn't really understand until I seen the You'll See video. And it made more sense to me, and it made me like the video a lot more. So that's why it's number 2 for me. The last video is Secret. Oh my god. I really can't explain this video in particular. Like, it was just fun. Like, her sitting at the bar, like, just dancing. She looked so good. Oh my god. Madonna is really my girl. Like, I love her so much. Like, she doesn't have one bad project, nothing. Okay. Top 3 performances. Take a Bow at the AMAs. Oh my god. Like, shit, I cannot. Like, the background was so inviting. She had that red, I want to say, like, Japanese-inspired dress on. It was silky. She looked beyond good. And it was just a perfect ballad performance. Not much was really going on, okay? But it was just so perfect. Like, I can't explain it. It's one of those things. This album is just one of those things where I cannot explain half of the stuff that I want to talk about, okay? But my next performance is Bedtime Story from the Brits. Oh my, she just looked like a witch. Like I said, I said this in that video. She looked like a witch coming down to give you good vibes, and like a good witch, not a bad witch. Like a good witch coming down from her wherever heavens to just give you good vibes and make you just feel the music. I love Bedtime Stories way too much. It's crazy. The last performance is Secret at Wet and Das, and mainly because of her hair. Okay, like, I just loved her hair and the style of that, the way that she was singing it. Oh my god, she's my queen. Okay, now we're to the final thoughts of everything I just said. So, this is my favorite album thus far. Every time I listen to a new Madonna album, it changes. But I honestly feel like this will be in my top 2 forever. This and Erotica are going to be in my top 3 forever. I will say that. And I feel like Ray of Light could knock one of them down, but I don't know. But this is honestly my favorite. I can say that. My favorite album thus far. It's so well maintained. It's so a good mix of pop, R&B, 90s pop, 90s R&B, and just, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful album. And so relatable on so many levels. She was, like I said, she was talking about consciousness, and I think about that all day. Like, it's so weird that we can hear ourselves think and talk, and I don't know, it's just so weird to me. And the fact that she was saying it, like, these are my hands and what can they give me? Like, this is my voice, but it's telling lies. Like, how can you not love this album? I don't know, you guys. But I give this album an easy 10 out of 10. And that's it. This is it of the Bedtime Stories era. It's been an era. It's been a wild one at that. And I'm just so glad I could partake in it. But I guess that's it, you guys. It's been crazy. It's been a long era. And mainly the reason why it's been such a long era is due to the fact that she just dropped her album, and Madam X, and I had to do all that. I had to experience the Madonna era of me. Like, that was my first Madonna era as a fan, as a conscious fan. So, I don't know, everything is just so good. Like, I love Madonna so much, and I'm so glad that I chose to react to her music, because it's been a journey and a half. But I guess that's it, you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about the Bedtime Stories era. This is my favorite album. This is my favorite era. I don't know, what is that song or album called? Like a Prayer. That was a great album. Like, a great album. Or era. It was a great era. I like Bedtime Stories album more, but why do I keep wanting to say Playtime is over? I don't know. But that era was so good. But I guess that's it, you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and bye.